So we understand as a government that many Canadians are struggling to make ends meet during a period of high global inflation. Canadians are feeling the pain when they go to the grocery store, when they fill up their tanks, and when they pay their rent. And although inflation in Canada is lower than it is in the United States or in Europe, it is our responsibility to make life more affordable while building an economy that works for everyone. This is why we have provided $12.1 billion in new inflation relief support, with many measures continuing in 2023 to help make life more affordable for millions of Canadians. This includes measures like the GST rebate, dental care, child care, and supports for seniors. Students no longer need to pay interest on student loans, and new parents are able to more easily return to the workforce. At the same time, our government has been and remains committed to making sure that everyone pays their fair share of taxes. For example, Budget 2022 announced a permanent increase of the corporate income tax by 1.5 percentage points on the largest, most profitable banks and insurance companies in Canada, and also announced the Canada Recovery Dividend, a one-time 15% tax on Canada's most profitable banks and insurance companies to help pay for the cost of fighting COVID. We've also reduced taxes for the middle class and for small businesses on 4 separate occasions, while increasing taxes on the top 1%. Our government is also committed to phasing out inefficient fossil fuel subsidies that give fossil fuels an unfair advantage over cleaner energy solutions. In our previous election platform, we committed to phasing out these fossil fuel subsidies by 2025, but like the member opposite said in her speech, we felt that the matter was so urgent that we actually accelerated the timeline of this commitment for the end of this year, a full 2 years early. In fact, the majority of inefficient fossil fuel subsidies have already been eliminated. In Budget 2022, for example, the government committed to eliminating the flow-through share regime for fossil fuel activities. This will be done by no longer allowing expenditures related to oil, gas, and coal exploration and development to benefit investors after March 31st, 2023, by the end of this month, Mr. Speaker. This coincides with our world-leading climate plan, which is working to lower Canada's greenhouse gas emissions while creating high-paying, sustainable jobs that will benefit Canadians for generations to come. Our government is also taking meaningful actions to improve competition in this country and ensure that consumers pay fair prices for goods and services. We provided an additional $96 million in funding over 5 years to the Competition Bureau in Budget 2021 and made targeted improvements to the Competition Act in June of 2022. This will strengthen the Competition Bureau's powers, better protect consumers, and ensure that workers and small businesses are protected from anti-competitive or deceptive practices. These amendments brought the Act more in line with international best practices, including higher maximum fines and a broader scope of anti-competitive behavior that the Competition Bureau can now review. On top of that, last fall, we launched a consultation on the future of competition policy in Canada to seek input on what further we can do. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, our government is fighting climate change, making life more affordable, ensuring that the Canadian economy is competitive, and making sure everyone pays their fair share of tax at the same time. And given that Canada enjoys the lowest deficit and lowest net debt to GDP ratio in the G7, we can expect that Canada and Canadians are well positioned to outperform in the years ahead. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.